Okay, 1, 2. Seems to be 100%. Okay, so here we are starting up the system from scratch, effectively doing a cold restart with nothing running. Here we are on time, it's on the Samsung A05. We are running a Python listener program that takes tasks we will enter into the system from our Android app, then runs them past a local AI model called Quen, before packaging Quen's response as a JSON file and then firing that through Telegram. There we are, instantiating the listener. We also are running an Oklahoma server on the terminals to host that Quen model. So we now skip over to the Dell server. As you can see, the Exacore app doesn't have connection to the server at the moment because I've not fired the server up on the Dell. So in a moment I'm going to skip over onto the Dell and just fire up that server using Node. Before doing that, I'm getting the local address of the Samsung, the IP address that I'll need to input into the listener Python file. Here we are now on the Dell. I'm firing up the Dell server. Exacore 26 project. There we go, the dynamic timetable HUD is now online. And now you can see it has connection to the server. We can now start firing tasks through the system. Have 7 predefined tasks that you can see from the screen there at the top. I'm just going to fire a test task through. Once we've fired this, we'll then go on to the Dell and pick it up from the Dell side. I'll show how it then makes create an FD file which Gemini Gen then picks up, and that's where the real work starts on whichever task is fired through the system at that point. This is the first video I've done where I've edited it myself, so it's the first one. It's going to be a bit scratchy. There you go, you see the task at the top there, what I just fired through. We have the panel on the right there, which is responsible for creating the .md file, which my AI tool, notably Gem, new feature called Gems within Gemini, will then read that from my drive mount directory, which is a map onto my Google Drive, which I set up with Parkland. There you go, you see the task as that's been formatted by Quen on the Samsung, that local AI model. It enriches the task. This is the first time I've been able to show a cold run of the system components working together. I'm using shotcut on the Linux Mint because it's a lot less resource intensive than the industry standard OBS studio, which people use if they've got a better machine. Like I'm not doing something somewhere here. I might have made an error in my cutting and pasting video segments, but I'm now loading up the gem. I'm deleting a previous gem chat because I found that sometimes interfered with its cache and it would use the static or cached version of the task history. That's why I'm also deleting the cache from the browser here, so it's going to be picking up the latest task directly from the Google Drive rather than from in memory, and it gave me a bit of a headache that did, but using this method I'm sure to clear the cache out. I shall design a more elegant method as I learn a bit more. So my gem I'm going to use is my project architect, which is responsible for helping me design out the rest of the components in collaboration. So once it's loaded, it takes in 3.md files from my Google Drive, execute state, the MD and active task. See that little CPU bar on the bottom, they're going up and down blue. That's because I'm running on the edge of my CPU. It's a dual core Dell Inspiron 13 with 4 gigabytes of memory, so lean and mean is the way forward. Start session is my sort of like run command which starts off the system, and then from there it picks up the task, and that's really job done.